Hello, everyone. This is Gilgamesh. And today we're looking at Isaiah chapter 40, verse 22. And it says, Shu marom enechem, uru mi bara ele, hamotzi b'misfar tzavam, lakulam b'shem yikra. Marov onim, va'amitz koach ish lo nedar. Roughly translated, this is lift up on high your eyes and see who has created these. The one who causes to go forth in numbers their armies. For all of them with a name he is called. From great might and strength, power, a man is not missing or lacking. There's a lot to unpack on this one. We're talking about the stars here. And in Isaiah chapter 40 here, there's a lot of astronomical references here. Starting off here, shu, this comes from nasa, which is to lift or carry. And so it's an imperative form here, a masculine plural. And so he's speaking to a group of people here and commanding them to lift. And then marom. Marom is a high place or a height. So lift a high place, enechem, your eyes. So in other words, lift up your eyes on high. He's telling them to look up to the sky. Uru, and see, another imperative here, masculine plural, mi bara, who has created. Now, bara is the same word that we have in the first verse of the Bible here to create. It's always divine activity. So who has created Elah, these? So the idea here is to look up to the sky. There you're going to see the stars and ask who has created these. Hamotzi, the one who causes to go forth. This is the he feel form here. It is masculine singular. It's from yatsa, which is to go forth. And since it's he feel, it's causative, who causes to go forth. The mem on the beginning here is part of it being a participle. So hamotzi, the one who causes to go forth, the one who sends forth. B'mispar. Mispar comes from safar, which is to count or to tell a story. Mispar is a noun here that is a masculine singular noun. It means a number, who sends forth with a number, meaning a whole bunch. Who sends forth with a number, savam, their army. One of the titles of God, of course, is Adonai Tsavaot, Lord of hosts or Lord of armies. And so he's talking about the stars here as being these armies, the armies of the Shemaim, the armies of the sky. The one who sends forth with number their armies is a reference to God, the same as who is it that created these is also a reference to God. So he's saying, lift up your eyes to the sky and answer who it was that created all of these, the ones who sends forth with numbers their armies. Lakulam, to all of them, b'shem, with a name, yikra. This is an imperfect third masculine singular of a call form. It means to call, as in to call by a name, to all of them with a name he calls. And then we have the preposition mem here, from, rov, from a multitude. And then we have a couple of interesting words here. Onim is a word that means generative power, physical power. It indicates that from the many, there is this physical power, talking about the stars themselves have this great power. Then he has two other words here that are kind of synonyms. We have amitz, which is strong, and then we have koach, which is power or strength. Now, it seems like we have too many of the same word here, and he might just be trying to put all four of these words here, rov, many, generative power, strength, and might, all together just to describe the stars as being extremely powerful. One thing, though, to notice here, amitz, and you'll see here with footnote A for our apparatus, tells us that to be read with 1Q Isaiah A, which is the Dead Sea Scrolls, and other various manuscripts, it should be ometz, rather than amitz, which would mean it would be a masculine singular participle, one who strengthens. And it tells us over here in Halot that on this particular verse, 1Q Isaiah A reads ometz koacho, one who strengthens his power. So if we take the Dead Sea Scrolls reading, it's like, to all of them he calls with a name. From many is generative power, and he strengthens their might. That makes a pretty good sense. But the idea here is that God is calling each of the stars by name. The idea is to talk about the incredible vast knowledge of God, that he not only can send forth these mighty armies of stars to go across the sky, but that he knows each one of them and can call each one of them with a name. And by calling them by a specific name, he is investing them with this great power. And then we ended off here with Ish Lo Nedar. Now, this is a construction we see in Hebrew a lot when we're talking about a collective of a large group of things, like a lot of stars. We then can talk about what each individual item is doing by referring to it as Ish, a man. This literally means a man is not absent or missing. The idea here is that the stars is what we're referring to, and there is not a one among them that is missing. And so as he puts out this innumerable host of stars, he has knowledge of each and every one of their names, calls them by name, thereby investing them with power, and not a single one of them is absent from this process. So just a very beautiful verse here from Isaiah chapter 40, talking about God and the cosmos and his command over the stars, and the representation of the stars as having great power and his knowledge to know each one by name. We're actually going to see this return several times throughout chapter 40 and even into chapter 41, this idea of investing with power by calling in their name. You have to put this together actually with some of the verses that follow. Anyway, that's our verse for today. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. Join us over on Discord, ring the bell, do all those things, and we'll see you in the next one.